Anxiety and resilience coming out. 2 nines is basically what you feel when you're at that stage of, you know, the 9 of Wands, where it's like an ongoing battle. You feel tired over it. You're sick of whatever thing you're battling, and you have anxiety because you're just like, is this ever going to let up? Is this ever going to be done? King of Swords, the truth, battling with the truth, feeling anxiety over telling the truth with the King of Swords. The Three of Swords, you might be having anxiety telling the truth about a third party. Page of Swords, curiosity. King of Swords and the Page of Swords. So you are curious about telling the truth. You have anxiety over it, obviously, for some reason, because it will affect you. It might cause some heartbreak or something, or that there is a third. You're dealing with multiple parties at the same time. What does? The Eight of Cups. You might be scared to tell the truth about some sort of moving on from some sort of heartbreak, being, you know, betrayed. You feel lonely. It gives you depression thinking about it, but it's something that you have to walk away from, right? The Eight of Cups is all about moving on and letting it go. You're reaching your limit of what you can sustain with this scenario right here, regarding love. But there's multiple cups, but you have to move on from this sort of scenario that you're in. You're curious about what would happen if you actually told the truth. You should be. There's a choice. Do I say or do I not say it? You know, all these choices are a culmination of your future. It's just like, how do you want your future to pan out? What do you want your future to be like? Your choices now affect it, obviously. The Fool, starting over. It makes sense when you have anxiety about starting over, especially if you're like getting to a point where you know you kind of have to like move on, right? And telling the truth, being curious about telling the truth even, is a good start to relieve some anxiety. Because why are you dealing with anxiety? Anxiety is about the fear of the future, right? Depression is about sadness of the past. Anxiety is about the future. Why are you so anxious about the future, about telling the truth, starting over, right? This telling the truth gives you freedom. That's the feel-good emotion that comes from the truth. Even if the truth is really, really difficult to say, you feel weight off your shoulders immediately. You know, there's a burden that's unlifted from your chest. You can start over. There's a freedom in the truth because you just let it go. You have no control over what happens after that, but at least you had control over the truth and what you did with it. You know, sometimes you just have to say it like it is. Not how you want it to be, not how you plan it on it to happen in the future, but how it is right now. That's difficult for most people to do because they're afraid of the outcome of the other person that they're telling it to, denying them or walking away from them or having a negative reaction. But it's just like, you're going to get a negative reaction even if you lie to someone. It's like you either do the hard thing now and benefit later, or you benefit cheaply now by lying and you do all the hard things later because you have to cover up your lie, obviously. Don't be delusional about what you can get away with, right? The Seven of Cups. Don't be delusional about what you're trying to say the truth with. The more you procrastinate, the more, you know, heartache and other negative emotions that might come along with it. So sometimes you just have to rip the Band-Aid and just say the truth. Let it go. Especially if you're feeling this much anxiety, sleeplessness, insomnia, or just anxiety in general about whatever the outcome could be, you're giving yourself so much anxiety now by holding it in. So just let it out and, you know, let the cards fall where they do. It's your choice though, right? Like, okay, your choice is choosing yourself. I'm getting in this kind of pair with the Nine of Pentacles and the Six of Wands. You're choosing yourself. You're investing in yourself now. And in order to do that, you have to choose yourself first. And that means making decisions, choices that will be good for future. Like, you're investing in good choices now, which will help gain, you know, a positive future going forward. The Nine of Pentacles, obviously, you know, like, so there's a lot of independence and success if you choose right. But if you continue to, you know, stay in this painful energy, this anxiety inducing painful energy, because you think it's easier, quote unquote, to just do that, you're sustaining so much anxiety, you know, from withholding things. And, you know, you do have resilience, but it's the Nine of Wands. Like, how long is that going to last for, really? Everyone gets fatigued sometimes. So, there you go, Nine of Cups. So if two nines, there's four nines here. You have all the nines. Look at that. You have all the nines right here. The number 9 might be very important to you right now, but this is all about the next choice, right? Like, you're on the edge of, it's like choosing your own adventure. You have, you know, all this to be had. The Nine of Cups and the Nine of Pentacles, your wishes coming true, independence, security, abundance, satisfaction, lots of success in all different aspects of your life, fulfillment. But then you have to get through this resilience and anxiety. You have to not deal in that kind of anxious, delusional way of thinking, right? Lying or dealing with, you know, multiple personalities, multiple lives all at once. Like, if as soon as you learn to, you know, choose yourself, invest in yourself, you can actually tell the truth a lot easier, because you're willing to be the fool again. You know, the Fool is an interesting card, because it's not just foolishness. It's like an innocent behavior of being like starting fresh over and enjoying the freshness of newness, you know? Like, the Fool is walking off a cliff, but his head's held high. He has the sun, he's carrying a flower, you know, he's like la-di-da, you know, there's waves behind him. He doesn't even notice. He's just enjoying the moment as is. And in order to get that freedom and that innocence and that, you know, that fresh air approach to life again, you got to make decisions. So you might as well make a hard decision now and benefit with all this later with all these four nines. So it's really up to you on what path you choose going forward.